That's it. That's a good point. I actually seem quite saturated.
All right, we are live. Hi,
That's the thing I always
everybody,
wonder about. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
and
Oh my God, look at what
welcome
I
to
just
the
did
show. I
I
hit the
decide.
wrong
Go ahead.
button to start, so we're starting. That happened quick.
All right.
I'm putting my
Welcome.
phone here so I can read chat.
So,
Because yeah.
welcome.
You
We
do chat on
have
the phone,
before
not
we
a bad
start, we
idea.
have a brand new name for this show. Adam, why don't you tell them the name for the show we came up with?
Doom scrolls and rabbit holes.
Right, and so we have
Say
this.
it with
Yeah.
less
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
right.
Sorry. I was trying to make
No,
sure I remembered it in the
no.
right order.
Right.
I mean
scrolls
It was a
and
lot of
rabbit holes.
pressure to put on you. I'm not gonna admit that was kind of fucked on my part.
No, I
It's
think
alright.
I think it doesn't. You don't want it to have too much enthusiasm.
It's doom scrolls and rabbit holes. It becomes
exactly.
eventually. It's just sort of you forget what it is. Like
Yeah.
That's right. It's like
I was thinking about this actually with my TikTok name or my business name and stuff like Dirty Roots Berlin. Like so many people now are like, oh, I didn't even realize you were in Germany, or because you don't really necessarily associate it with the play. You don't break down the words anymore. It's just a title, Dirty Roots Berlin. Like
Yeah.
dopamine dysfunctional. Like the words lose their internal meaning. But anyway, doom scrolls
There
rabbit
you
holes.
go.
and doom scrolls and rabbit holes, and we came to this.
I'm off centered. Sorry.
Uh,
I'm trying to fix it. Okay.
you got it. So,
Yeah.
All right. So we picked doom scrolls and rabbit holes because the way we want to do this show, and I don't think we did a very good job explaining it last episode because we still don't really know what we're doing here, but we want to be on camera together is basically what we want to do. And each week we figured we're going to explore a different side of the internet and do some fun stuff. So this week we're going to talk about the content we create, right? And who knows what we're going to do next week, but we're always doom scrolling, we're always doing rabbit holes online, and we want to share all that with you. So we thought we couldn't choose between doom scrolls and rabbit holes, so we just kind of combined it all. We got this cute little bunny with some fangs, and he's angry for some reason.
Love it.
But my head.
And yeah, so he's
Hey,
a lot of
buddy.
fun. I thought it'd be a great idea if we could name that bunny today.
Okay. There's an official competition.
Right, so
Name that bunny.
The bunny. Name
Right.
that bunny.
So before we get going, let's remind everybody who we are and where they can find us and why they should care about us. I'll start first since I didn't go first last time. I'm Spencer. Most people call me Dopamine Dysfunctional. I'm mostly known on TikTok. I stream on Twitch. I post on YouTube. I'm all over the place. You can find me under Dopamine Dysfunctional. All my content is ADHD content, but it's not the type of ADHD content that you're expecting where it's like ADHD is this and these are the 4 symptoms of this. No. I just live my life as a disaster and I put it online for people to see and for people to kind of laugh at and for people to connect with, right? And so they hear my stories and they connect that way. And so I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. I want to put that out there. Nobody here is a doctor. A few of them are experts, like Adam is expert in plants and Gwen, expert in voiceovers.
Oh, I like that you chose that.
That was your cue for a voiceover, but okay.
In a world.
That's
all you-
yeah, so I just keep doing more and more stuff, and I feel like I'm accumulating more and more things, like this show, right? And so it's very fun, and I just follow the dopamine wherever I go, and that's led me here with these amazing people. So who wants to go next?
Gwen? I don't know where you're pointed on this.
I was staring at you on the
Oh,
screen. And
okay,
I realized you can't tell where I'm looking.
No.
Hi, I'm Gwen, and I have a bunny that lives in the apartment above me. And no, I also do TikTok videos. I'm an actor, voiceover artist, and gamer, and friend, family member. Yeah, generally silly person. I don't know. Oh, you can find
Where
me
can
as
people find you?
Gwen Carroll on TikTok. Carol with an E at the end. Somebody Somebody type that in the chat.
I put it
Wait,
on the
somebody type that
screen.
in
It is on the screen. I put it on the screen.
I forgot we're in fucking
Damn.
Twitch.
Oh my
Right.
gosh. Yes.
I am Gwen Carroll Adam.
Yeah, Adam
Gwen
got a
Carroll.
little smushed
but
in there.
You
Sorry.
just Google Gwen Carroll. You'll find me. You'll find me. You will. Promise.
And
Adam.
Gwen is also famous
I guess
on
that's mine, yeah.
Instagram.
You know,
She's Instagram famous.
a couple
Super.
celebs picked up a viral video and posted it. That's what happens.
And now we don't stop hearing about it. No.
Now you have to
Damn.
pay attention.
Adam, you're up.
I'm Adam. I online as Dirty Roots Berlin. It's also the name of the business that I run, selling planters, and basically, yeah, I do a lot of different things. But main thing I'm doing, yeah, is planters for plants and making videos about plants and how my approach, which is a unique combination of a variety of different plant growing styles, all sort of tailored for houseplants. Yeah, you can find me at Dirty Roots Berlin. There's on TikTok, there's hyphens in between each word, and on Instagram, it's Dirty Roots Berlin. And then the website, just dirtyrootsberlin.com. Great stuff, ship worldwide. Check it out. Yeah, mostly plant stuff and
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. And
Sexy
hanging out with these
plant
crazy,
stuff.
Right.
crazy people.
Yeah, and the three of us all play D&D every Wednesday, so you can catch us doing that for
We
3 to
stream that
4
as well,
hours. Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
Lee Plays Game stream for that. It's tons of fun. So let's get into. I want to talk about content creation because we're going to talk about all things on the internet, but I figured let's start where we live, right? So how did you first get into making content? How did you take the leap? Was it and I'm talking like your first video that's not meant for like friends or family. You know what I mean?
Video? Okay, yeah. You're talking about video specific. I mean, we can.
Well, I mean, or getting your
whole
face
journey.
out there. Get your yeah. Well, walk me through it. What was the steps? Because for me, it was just plastering my face all over TikTok to get going.
That was like your leap into social media.
Baptism by fire, right there.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. As studying acting and being an actor for a while now, there was always a lot of talk about put yourself on social media, get your social media numbers up, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, fuck that, I'm a rebel because you tell me what to do, I'm not gonna do it because ADHD. And so I was always talking. I was like, Instagram's gonna go down soon. Like nobody cares anymore. And
It's
TikTok
on the way
came
back
along.
up.
And I was like, oh, this is a place where people are more themselves than I've ever seen in terms of content. YouTube had its moment. It felt overwhelming to me to do YouTube. But I don't know, and then I just started feeling more comfortable and confident in my 30s to not give any fucks, I guess. So I just started making shit.
Right.
My friend and I had made Instagram videos for a few years as Pretty on Pitch, and we did like musical parody on there. Like it was back when Instagram was 15 seconds tops, and so we were always like singing as fast as we possibly could, and it was really fun times. So that was like, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have started learning how to edit and learning how to learn how to make better, higher quality content. So I have to give that credit.
Right.
Strength in numbers. Power of a friend, buddy. Kara's not watching, but shout out Kara.
It's always better when you body double, right?
Yeah, it really was. It was like a body doubling situation, and I was like, well, now I can kind of I know my way around
Right.
making a video, and then having to shoot auditions all the time. You just
Let's get used to it.
Easier.
being on camera was never a issue for me.
What about you, Adam?
I mean, I was putting myself out on social media before you could really put videos on the internet. I mean, I've been doing theater since I was 6 years old. So there was never a point when in my life when I wasn't actively putting myself in front of people just for people to like look at me. Now it wasn't always theater, but then I was DJing and writing, and doing experimental electronic shows, and like pretty much every venture I've ever been involved in involves me putting myself in front of people and being like, look at me, I'm talking about a thing, or I'm
I don't
doing a
like
thing, or
attention.
like,
Right.
don't
Yeah.
look at me. Like, no, I mean, I really, yeah, like it's just a part of anything that is going to keep my interest. Like, I have to put it out in front of other people. I don't know why, but yeah.
Love
So
it.
I couldn't really say when I started doing that. I remember I had LiveJournal. You guys remember LiveJournal?
Oh, I had a live journal.
Yeah.
I did a
So it was
really
basically,
stoned live journal like twice, and that was it. And
oh
I
no,
can
like
still find it.
I think I was like 15. No, I think they eventually deleted it. I like went
College.
under and it's all gone.
Yeah, for a while I
Um,
could find it, but I don't think I would be able
So
to
what
now.
would you do there?
yeah,
What's that? Yeah, tell me what it
I
is.
just write. It's just a journal that you write and you just like put it out on the internet and you just write whatever the fuck you want. And so like, I would just be talking about being in high school and like liking Led Zeppelin and
Nice.
shit like that.
TikTok is very much a video live journal.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A lot of the time.
Well, at
That's
least it
one thing I
was,
love
yeah.
about it
It was.
is
For
like
Spencer especially it is.
definitely for me. Like you guys,
Yeah.
all right, so there's a huge difference in the content. Well, really that all three of us make, right? Like Adam's more educational. So he's got to come with some knowledge and some information and talk about worms.
Yeah, I
and
have to be
dirt,
accurate.
right?
Yeah, I have to fact check like half of my videos to be like, wait a
Right.
second, am I just totally wrong? Did the science change in the last 10
Right.
years?
Well, and you don't want people coming out of the woodwork to criticize you about your nightcrawler theories, right? Like, no.
Oh, they do. They do. Oh my god. But yeah.
It's their favorite thing.
I always laugh at those ones. It's yeah. So I mean, and then Gwen is very precise and accurate, and she does awesome like video montages and lip singing,
Recreations. Yeah.
and it's just it's incredible the way she's able to time it up, and you have to get very creative with like your props and your setups and stuff. And for me, I stand in front of a sink and I complain about my life.
We love a good sync though.
Yeah.
Setup.
I miss the shower days. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I shot a few
You
videos in the
shower
shower. Once,
Oh, yeah.
more than once.
Where did I miss that?
I've been shirtless more times than I'd like to admit on TikTok.
You and everyone else on the internet.
Oh my gosh, anything for the likes and follows. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, World Naked Gardening Day is
You
coming
don't get
up. So.
reported when you don't have a shirt on.
Right.
The difference between me and you.
That's true.
I got reported once because I had like a bra on with like a robe over it. So I was doing a fun like. It was the most thirst trappy video I've ever made. I would say it was the closest to it, and of course it got reported. And so then I photoshopped a man's bare chest over myself in the video and
perfect.
reposted it. And they were like, "Fine, okay, we get it." Oh, that was a fun day.
So, I don't know if
This is
this
just what my hair does. But
Oh yeah,
I like your hair today a
it is
lot.
wonderful. He just woke up like that. Like,
I know.
I did. I woke up like this.
look at him. Just threw his robe on, and now he's on live television.
I got a cool robe so I can be a part of the robe club.
I did make coffee and tea, but
Yeah.
Dude, you're having a... So, all right, real quick, give us the forecast for the day, right? Because you're a whole day ahead of us, right? So let us in. Like,
True.
what's the day
Yes.
like? What's our outlook? Like, what can we
How's it
expect when we
going?
wake up in the morning?
For those of you who don't
I
know,
think,
Adam's in Germany. I don't think we said that. He's in Berlin.
no.
It's in his username, but still.
Yeah, you might not have pieced it
You
together.
might not know
Could be
that.
Berlin, Texas.
Could have been an origin story or
oh,
something.
yeah.
Who knows?
It's gonna be a good day today. Weather's fairly nice, at least in the morning, and I think the feeling is one of productivity. Surprising, one of those rare days where like maybe not the whole day, but for like a good chunk, a couple of hours, like you're just gonna find that work groove, right?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
So
Good. Yeah, I need that.
That's my prediction for the day.
I like that. We're gonna do that every episode.
I know, it makes me feel good.
Right.
It makes me feel very positive about tomorrow.
Right.
You can do it. Wake up.
Because I
You know,
believe you.
Water some
I
plants.
have a believable voice.
Get at it.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to try something I've never tried before, and we're going to do it live because I prepared a video clip to show you some of our work. So I'm going to try to jump into a new scene. All right, so I forgot which one
Can I contribute to this in a fun way as it transitions
Uh,
out?
Primary.
I'm gonna
Just-
see if I
I'm
can
just
do
setting
It's
the mic.
this one. All right, I'm going to try now.
When it comes to the music of the 90s, anything goes.
Oh no!
No.
Hear it. No.
Music today is everywhere. No need to label it. If it's good, we'll play it.
Oh, I
That's
have
why
it
we got
muted.
Living in the
Hold on.
90s. 2.5 hours of the coolest songs.
Oh, yeah,
on two
yeah, it's
CDs
totally-
and 2 cassettes.
You can
Check
totally
it out.
Oh, good.
You'll be amazed at who you'll find on Living in the 90s.
They're sex symbols. Sensitive rockers. Legendary artists.
There's only one thing left to say about Living in the 90s.
You're unbelievable.
To order, call the number on your screen or send check or money order. Living in the 90s is not sold in stores.
I love this.
It's so awkward watching it on silent, and then I hear Ron laugh in the other room.
Yeah, I have no idea what just was said there. For those of you who
I
don't
don't know what happened.
the sound
I
did
don't
not
remember
work
making that video.
on our back end. That was the now. That's what I call music
I think it
20
was
or
living
something.
I think it's living in the 90s.
Oh, so
It was like the
funny.
90s. We love the where we live. And the guy's like, yeah, totally. I don't remember.
So funny. So Gwen, for those of you who don't know, that's pretty much right down the fairway for what you're putting out there, right?
I was just thinking today that I want to do another one like that. It's much easier to do than some of the stuff that I do. And so it made me miss doing that. 'Cause it's over the sink. It's like right in the kitchen window. Super easy setup. I just I pulled like all the different outfits I need, and then I just like change one after the other and just go. It's a very fun time to make those.
Yeah, it seemed like you were having a good time.
Right.
It's very awkward. Like, let me tell you about me in my video.
So
If
yeah,
someone loves attention, I fucking hate attention. It's
So-
the weirdest thing. in the whole world.
I love attention. I hate
I
talking about
love
myself.
it, but I also cannot. Yeah, I can't. I'm just like about
Well.
me and my. That's what I feel like.
If I don't have an answer, I don't like talking about myself. But
Oh well, yeah, that's hard.
yeah, that's the one thing I hated about like all the different creative things you do is like you need to, and like it's like a resume, but like of your special abilities. Like write a bio, your artist bio. But just like I don't know, I do shit. You either like it
Yeah.
or you don't.
I don't know how celebrities do interview after interview on a movie.
Answering
Like,
the
I
same
don't-
question over
I-
and over
right.
again.
I mean, I guess you get really good at it, is what happens. But also, like,
They get a coach.
yeah, you have PR people help you with that, and also like the people on the movie. There's like a whole department for that, honestly.
Mhm.
But like, I would just you see some like clips from celebrities doing interviews, and they're like, because they don't care anymore. I
That would
love those
definitely
so
be
much.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Gwen, I gotta know, like, where do you come up with your ideas? Are you just like browsing TikTok and you're like, oh, I love this song, or like, where's the inspiration come from?
I mean, just like consuming content over the years in general, really, because no original ideas. They all come from somewhere. We all have some sort of like creative way in. The reenactment videos I do. I've seen people do those in the past. I've seen a lot of people do those, and I always thought those were amazing. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I could try that, and I was really good at it. Those ones, I liked the idea of doing more than just lip syncing the different parts. I wanted to be the different characters, and I like trying to match how they look in their music videos if I can. I don't know, I like the challenge in it, even though I wear myself out doing it sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoy the challenge of being like, okay, how can I match it without being too, like, you know, just without going out of my way to do it? Like, what do I have around the house?
Right, that's the thing, is like you just kind of like piece it together. Now, how many wigs do you say you own?
Well, what's really funny is I have probably like 10. I don't always wear wigs. I started doing there's one in particular that I got. It was a Cersei wig for Game of Thrones, and I've used that for so many different videos now. But like, I had wigs just from like having Ron and I had like a murder mystery company a while ago, and I used to do kids parties as a job, and so like I have props and random shit just hanging out that wasn't getting used, and so I'm really glad that I got to use some of that stuff.
That's how I feel with a lot of my stuff too. Like whenever I can throw it into any kind of production, like I got into photography, and it's like, oh, that just happened to be sitting on my shelf for years before I figured out I could plug it into a computer and actually do this, right?
Whoa. So cool. It's such a dope camera.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's nice.
So Adam, while we're on the subject, where's your inspiration come from?
I think, you know what it is? I think it's that it comes from, I mean, really, it's my journey through plants. Like, I got a plant when I was like 16 because I was in a play, and my grandmother, instead of sending me flowers, she sent me a little yucca tree.
Aww.
And yeah, my mom was like, "Oh yeah, you need to water it. You need to give it sunlight. And you need to fertilize it from every now and again." This is how I remember it. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But this is my memory of the situation. And I was like, "Why the fuck do I need to fertilize it? Like, the trees outside don't need fertilizer. Like, the stuff that it's in looks like the dirt that's outside. Like, shouldn't it be good?" And that opened up a whole can of worms, because it wasn't just like, I wasn't satisfied with like, oh, but you need to fertilize plants because they don't have nutrients. The stuff that they're growing in is basically nutrient poor, blah, blah. And it was like, okay, well, I didn't find that to be satisfying enough. That's usually where most people stop, is like, oh, it doesn't have nutrients in it. It doesn't have the cycle, so you need to add it in. And I was like, no, but like, why? You still don't have to do it outside. Like, can't I just do what's going on outside? Like, I don't, like, they're not doing anything, and I want to like not do anything. And that like was a whole, it's just not a common approach when it comes to houseplants.
Right.
In fact, it's like so uncommon, because everybody's like, well, you can't do it. But you can.
Can't you though? Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, you can actually do it. It takes a lot of specialized knowledge, and nobody's really ever been talking about it for houseplants, because there's a lot of reasons why. From a business standpoint, the people selling you houseplants, it's easier for them to give you a homogenized product that is dead and just like, it's always going to be the same. And, you know, like, from a business standpoint, that's how you want to sell it. And so then the information is explained, well, because it's this way, then you have to do this. And like, well, so I've been trying to change that. Like, once I was like, oh no, actually there's people that are doing this indoors. They just happen to be doing medical cannabis, right?
Right.
Like, oh, okay, well, and now we're not doing, an annual crop. We're doing indoor houseplants, which live for multiple generations and have different soil types. So there's things that you have to do to adapt it, to change it. But like, it is being done. There are people who are growing medical grade cannabis indoors without adding fertilizers or, whatever, like the case may be. So how can I change that and adapt that? And I was like, oh, nobody's talking about this? Like, literally, I'm the first person to like go out and like talk about this. I was like, okay, cool. Like,
Right.
one of the few times when I'm like ahead of the curve in that sense. Like, it's not information that I'm creating myself, but I'm the first one to apply it on a larger scale to houseplants. And I still get a lot of hate from the houseplant community about like my style and my approach, but everybody in like regenerative agriculture or you know biology and stuff like that tend to be like, oh man, yeah, like you're right on the money. So it's an
Right.
interesting journey, but that's sort of what keeps me going.
So cool.
You mentioned
Says something.
community, and I want to jump back into it. But first, let me see if I can play a video of yours. Okay, so I'm gonna try this again.
his, though.
Now this one's harder because I have to actually put it. Like I might actually just have to put the video in. So I'm
Do you
gonna
have a
see.
plant with a yellow or
Mute
dying leaf
myself
and
so
you're
I
not
can
sure
listen
what to do with it?
while it plays.
Why don't you try one of my favorite techniques, leaving it the fuck alone? Nutrients are being moved from the dying leaf to growth tips, and it's going to be much happier and healthier if you leave it the fuck alone.
Uh-oh. There we go. Nice. Did that all worked? That all worked, and now we're back.
It worked.
Look at
There's
this.
a delay, but we're back. I talked over the first part because you started playing it.
Oh, don't
before I-
blame me. All right. Do I need to count down? I don't know this, Gwen. How am I supposed to know?
I didn't know when you were pushing play, so that's my bad. I was like, I'm gonna mute myself while I was talking. But yeah,
Hey,
leave it
Mark.
the fuck
Kristen.
alone is like one of my favorite catchphrases of all time in the world. And
I debated for like 2 weeks whether or not I should post that video.
really,
Yeah. I was like, man,
Wow.
nobody's gonna like it. People are gonna get really mad. Like I'd never sworn in a video before. I was like, people are gonna fucking hate this. Like,
Oh, it's so and look at you, thriving.
and it was like, yeah, I think it was the biggest video to date. Yeah.
Dang.
It was, but that's sort of the idea is that like the common at that time. Now the conversation has changed, but at the time when I said that like the houseplant knowledge world, if you were to talk to a houseplant expert, they would say, cut off your yellow leaf. You got a leaf that's yellowing, cut it off. It's taking energy from the plant.
oh no,
It's not true. It's not based
No.
on scientific evidence. I mean, yes, technically, like some nutrients is being used in the process of it dying, but a lot of it is also being moved. And there's reasonings for it. Again, it makes sense, but like it doesn't have to be. And
yeah. Why
I
are
made
we
sure to
rushing
choose.
to execute a leaf? Like, give it a second to
We
try.
yeah.
Give it a chance.
Are you in a
Well, it's gonna go regardless. Like it's not
Well,
generally
yeah, but
speaking.
At least
99
let
unless
it
it's
contribute to the common good or a little something.
Right.
yeah, exactly. But it was based on an old like misconception, right? And nobody, very few people had bothered to study what is happening when that's going on in a plant. And if you look at it, you're like, oh, okay. So sometimes they're just dying because they're old and they're not getting as much light, or there isn't enough mobile nutrient in the soil at this exact moment, and it wants to grow this growth tip so it can move that, so it's just going to move it from here to there, and like but
Right.
those are processes that take place, but you have to learn about like how plants move nutrients and which nutrients are mobile and which ones aren't. I chose the words very carefully in there too, like do you have this and you don't know what to do? But why don't you try this? In other words, because it's also, like
Yeah, it's not the
you don't
only
have to.
reason.
You
Yeah.
can cut it off if you want to. If you're like, you know what, I might get more pests, and so therefore I'm just gonna go. Cool, that's what you want to do. You know what you want to do. Take care of it. But if you don't know what to do, why don't you try this? Because like everybody else is gonna say you have to, but do you?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. They're more cut and dry with it, where you're like, well, here's something maybe you should consider. Which is nice.
I try to be very like never say always or never, or like, because plants are so diverse. And the moment you're like, a plant will never do this, there's going to be 15 people going like, well, actually, did you know that this plant can do like, even if I'm like sure that 99, or 100% of it, I'm still like, generally speaking, because it just saves your ass.
Art.
Right. So, Adam, tell me a little bit about the plant community, because you mentioned that, and I think we all have different communities, and that plays a big role in social media and like how we choose to interact, right?
Yeah, I mean the houseplant community is a lovely community. Like, to be honest, of all of
No.
places
We're
to be.
here to bring out the dirt and really kind of talk.
Oh no, I'm setting it up.
We
I'm
want
setting it up.
shit
Okay,
about
good.
the house.
Good. I just wanted to make sure we knew what we were going for here.
Absolutely. So I would say that they're super. It's like one of the nicest fucking communities. Like people are so supportive and friendly to each other. The thing that I find the most interesting is, or like frustrating, is that it seems to have the least amount of knowledge. Like it's a lot of just repeating what other people have said. There's not a lot because it's a hobby for most people, even those that are posting about it, they're not reading scientific studies and double checking. It's just like, oh, I read this in a book and an expert said it, so it probably is true. And so there's so much more misinformation, I believe, and so much more rush to like kill off good bugs and like not really know what you're doing, but kind of like postulate like you do. So there's like people with millions of followers that are, putting out these plant hacks and then people are like, oh, okay, that's cool, it must work. And nobody's like done any research even to check, like, does any of this work? The person wouldn't have millions and millions of followers if people spent 1 second to then Google what they just saw and are like, oh no, that's complete bullshit.
Right.
Oh, okay. Right. Like, so nobody's really like, they're just like, oh, okay, that sounds really cool. And so that's one thing I do find frustrating. Everybody's super friendly and like nice, but very few people are doing their research. Now I feel like it's starting to change, and that's houseplants in general. The rest of like agriculture or like, there's so many more experts in those fields that are bringing this information, but it seems to lack in plants.
I heard a weird noise behind me and it freaked me out.
Well, you should have seen the object walk behind you. That was even scary.
If by object you mean dog, probably. There's two of them. Now, that's really dope. And yet, I think I always thought about like, I was like, oh, that's cool that you can recycle some like, old banana. You do, you could think about, oh, we're reusing stuff we were gonna throw away, but really you're wasting your time is what you're doing.
You're also generally wasting energy. Like a lot of these, like,
Right.
oh, grind up this thing, or like, well, that takes energy. Even if you're physically grinding it, you're using more calories, which means you got to use more food. So, like, at the end of the day, you wasting your physical energy is still actually a waste of resources because you need to eat in order to replace that energy that you spent. And so you're doing virtually nothing for your plant, but you're wasting your time and your energy, which means you're using up resources to do something that you think is doing good, but it's not. It's just somebody wanting clickbait and
Right.
It is clickbaity.
Super clickbaity.
Oh,
Speaking of clickbaity,
charismatic people.
Gwen, tell me about your community. No, I'm just...
yeah, I want to hear this.
I
Right.
don't really know that there.
Yeah, is there one, or are you just famous? Is famous a community?
No. I
Like-
wouldn't say. I don't.
Gwen has her
consider
own
myself
community.
that.
It's the Gwen group.
Well, I fit into a few different communities, which are like, millennials, exennials, like nostalgia, 80s and 90s nostalgia.
Yeah, you hit a lot of
And, like,
those. Yeah.
And like, filmmaking kind of. And not really. It's not really like, you go to filmmaker TikTok and it's like, whoa. Mine's like guerrilla filmmaking. Like I know how to match a shot well enough, but I don't have the equipment and nor am I gonna purchase it.
Right.
But like, yeah, and I guess dance is still is very much part. No, it's absolutely part of what I do. Movement.
Definitely.
Which is also nice because I was a dancer for years and years and years before I just like stopped doing that and was just an actor, and so it was nice to use that skill too. Because I got a degree in dance.
Yeah.
You get that degree and you're like, why didn't I do that? And I still get to use those skills in a lot of ways, and even like in my acting work, it's like it's helpful to be familiar with biomechanics and all that. Anyway, so I guess those are a lot of my like mutuals are all very like nostalgia nostalgia talk.
Right.
Like, remember this song? Remember this commercial?
Oh, this takes me back. Double mint gum.
Remember this movie? Watch me try to make look exactly like this movie, but not at all.
So is it competitive? Like, do you look at other creators who are doing similar stuff and be like, oh
Not
shit,
to
they're
me.
crushing that lip sync game right
something
there.
something that
You get jealous?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I don't. I mean, I used to in my 20s get jealous of other actors that were working more than me. You go through that jealousy phase of like, oh, they're booking all this work, whatever. I have like been happily out of that zone for several years now, I think, or at least a few years.
Congratulations.
I'm more competitive with myself and I'm more hard on myself than I am on other people. For sure, because it's easier to beat yourself up.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
The only thing that drives me crazy is when it doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while, someone else will do a reenactment of something that I also did a reenactment of, or I do a reenactment and someone goes, so-and-so did it first. And I'm like, yeah, obviously.
It's a reenactment. Yeah, that's kind of in the name.
From 1985. Of course people have reenacted it a million times, and probably very well. Please direct me to their video so I can watch. Save the Last Dance was one example where there was a woman that did a reenactment. It was very hilarious of the dance, making fun of the Save the Last Dance routine, and people were tagging me and going, you stole this idea. And because it was a black woman that had done it before me that they were mentioning, my white fragility came in and was like, fuck, like, oh no, people think I stole this from a black woman, and like, but it wasn't about that. It was just about recognizing the fact that, like, this person did it and maybe she got plenty of love for it, but mine was going viral and people were mad.
Right.
And some people actually thought that I had stolen that idea from that person, and that drove me crazy. But that's not ever how it works.
Right.
Some people will tag me and other people's reenactments going, Gwen did this first, did it better, or whatever. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm like, no, but I'll go there, I'll follow that person, I'll comment, like, this is incredible, because it's like, we get the same ideas so much in this life, like, it all comes from the same fucking place.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, everybody relax.
I did something similar. There's it's about composting. There's like a lady that I follow who talks about composting, and she posted, I don't know if you guys get these questions or whatever, and like people pose questions to you, and you can like answer the question in the video, whatever. Not like just in the anyway, like separate the separate question feature. So I got this like tell me about your composter, and I like did this video, sort of like jokingly referring to my composter, right? And some guy who's also a mutual friend of both this person who asked the question and myself, like we all three follow each other. It's like, hey, you stole my language there. And I think he was a bit joking and probably wasn't really offended by it, but I was immediately like, fuck, like what did I do? And I went back and he answered the same question in a very similar sort of style. I might be even saw his video in the back of my mind.
Right.
Like
totally.
Like I probably like legitimately stole his idea, not purposefully, but like, like this is a friend of mine too. Like I literally, it's not the copied shot kind of thing or the same dialogue, but it's the same concept. It's still the same like.
And it's something you agreed on. You
like
were,
my dump truck.
Yeah, you aligned in terms of like opinion on, and so of course it's gonna come out similarly.
Yeah.
I feel like this happens so much in the stand-up comedy community.
Yeah.
You hear about that the most there. And of course, granted, people do actually steal content. People do actually steal jokes. People steal music video ideas. Like I just saw a video about that yesterday. Somebody literally shot for shot stole someone else's music video without crediting them. Anyway, but like I hear about like, oh, so-and-so stole my joke, or like you stole this person's joke, and I'm always like, I don't know, dude. I need a lot of evidence. So, and also like people subconsciously like absorb shit.
Right. That's the other thing.
Like what? We're human.
It's
Our
not
brains
even
are
intentional.
Sponges. That's the point. So it's that's really interesting.
It's so funny that
So?
you guys.
Nobody steals Spencer's ideas.
Well, you can't,
All
right?
original thoughts.
They're all just well. I still
Don't want to
do get some
imitate.
pushback, right? Like I've got a video queued up, and people told me I was a bad father because of this video. So let's jump
People,
into
the
it.
bad parent shit, I can't.
Right?
Yeah, I want to see it.
All right. So I need to. All right, we need to be quiet before I hit this button.
Okay.
All right, babysitter canceled, so the kids are all mine today. So let's talk about some of the things that ADHD dads are struggling with. First up, we have trash day. I have no idea when trash day is. I only remember when I'm backing out of my driveway and see the neighbors' trash cans out on the street. It's always a surprise to me. Let me tell you about a little thing that I hate, and that's grill covers. I can never remember to put them back on the grill. It's like, hey, half an hour later, you need to come back out here and put this grill cover on. Like, that doesn't happen. ADHD dads are expected to remember all their kids' information, like social security number, hair color. Like, how am I supposed to remember that? No way. Don't even get me started on the unspoken peer pressure of neighborhood dads. Like, yeah, I get it. I haven't mowed my lawn in 3 weeks. Who cares? Lastly, how long does Chinese food last in the fridge? 3, 4 weeks?
4 weeks later.
All right.
I'm dying. I haven't seen that. That's so funny.
it's one
That's
of
so funny.
one of my favorite videos ever, and I love that my kids
God.
are just
I love
running
it.
up and
You had the best time in that. He's gonna laugh about that forever.
yeah, he still has me play it. But yeah, that's my type of content right there. Is just observational humor about neurodivergencies, right? Like and in hopes of people seeing it and connecting in a positive way, right? Like so that's what I try to do. It's awesome when I can include my family and stuff, but most of the time it's just me riding solo.
People have a bad dad just for the shove, or for
No.
not remembering his hair color.
Right. No, it was just somebody said as an upcoming father or a future father, do
boo.
better. And I made a whole video like, it's not about
You're not even a
remembering
dad yet.
to take the
Fuck
trash
me.
cans out that makes you a good dad, But
It's true.
yeah, those videos I
Tell us
did.
about your community.
My community is awesome because like you guys were talking about copycats, right? And like stealing ideas. My community is all about that. Like that's, and you guys are part of it, right? But you're not the creator side of my community for the most part. But yeah, so what we do is we like to be very topic centric. So somebody might start talking about rejection sensitive dysphoria, and everybody kind of parrots that through.
Sure.
And it's accepted in my community because the way we communicate as neurodivergent people is we hear a concept, we interpret it through our own filters, our own experiences, right? And we come up with a concept in a way that we can understand and interpret it, right? So we bring it in, ingest that information, and then we regurgitate it in a way that makes sense to us, and other people then grab onto it. So it's actually a very constructive thing in our community where we come to a lot of new perspectives and a lot of idea growth by sharing the same ideas and the same thought processes, which is awesome to me. And it's not something you get other places, right? Because it's
you're
very
talking about like everyone's
competitive.
different experiences that
Right.
are very specific, and you can collaborate. And
Exactly. That's the word I
share
would
stories.
choose to a T
Yeah.
is collaborative
Yeah, it's
for the way we
collaborative.
do it.
Yeah,
And
I would
art
think
should
that's
always be
also
collaborative too, but also social media is different.
right.
it's also probably part of the community that you're involved with. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's the ADHD community tend to be collaborative individuals.
Right.
Want that connection. And I think a lot of us that fear of rejection. So, it's like, oh man, I wasn't trying to steal from you. I was trying to build you up. Like, not to say that because they legitimately were, it seems like,
Right.
yeah, that finding
Yeah.
people that are,
Oh yeah, it makes a huge difference. And for one thing, with me, it's great because my content's all original because I only talk about myself, right? And so that's very common in my community now. So there's not a lot of toe stepping, right? Where Gwen, there's only a certain number of movie clips that have Patrick Swayze taking his shirt off and dancing by a river, right? Like you can only do so many.
I haven't done that. I don't know how. But I'm gonna.
You'll find a way.
I don't like to do the same movie twice very often. People are always like, now do this scene. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to do something you won't expect.
Speaking of things you won't expect, I want to go to another clip of Gwen's.
Frank.
This one I chose because it took me all the way back to my childhood.
As you do.
I had a big crush on Kelly Kapowski. So with that, I think that's enough setup. Let's go to the clip.
1, 2, 3, bang. 1, 2, 3, stretch. 1, 2, 3, bang. 1, 2, 3, stretch. Here's a message that I'm sending to you. You can do what you want to do. A little work never hurt no one. It's the only way to get things done. Put your mind to it, go for it. Get down and break a sweat, rock and roll. You ain't seen nothing yet. Mind to it, go for it. Get down and break a sweat, rock and roll. You ain't seen nothing yet. Mind to it, go for it. Get down and break a sweat, rock and roll. You ain't seen nothing yet. Get down and go for it.
Okay.
The thing that cracks me up the most about my own videos is like the stupidest parts where it's like a cutoff shot or like a weird green screened in janky thing. It's always like those like stupid shots that are like filler. Matching those up is one of my greater joys in life.
Yeah.
So they
It's
don't
so
matter.
impressive. Like, so the last clip we showed you like in character, but this one, like these videos just blow me away, Gwen. Like how long does it take you to shoot like that
Too
video?
fucking long. Too fucking long. So there were times like when I first started doing those kind of videos, I would have like 8-9 hour days making them. Yeah, and that's not like wasn't including like prepping for it the day before, meaning like selecting outfits and wigs and pulling out props that I needed. I would do that the day before. And then I would do it all in one day and edit it all in one day because I felt like I wanted to get it done now.
Right.
I've learned since then that is not serving me because then I would not eat enough. I would not drink enough water. I was just like, wasn't good self-care. So I started being like, okay, this is pretty recent because I'm like,
Are you criticizing
wasn't
the way I
looking
live
for-
my life? That's legitimately
like
how
hard
I
'cause
get through
so
life.
Excited and I get so hyper focused that I want to just like power through.
Right.
But then I'll have like a total meltdown at the end of the night because I'm exhausted and I like didn't even finish it to post. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I learned that like it's okay to like prep one day, shoot the next day, edit the next day, and I'm starting to realize that like I lost inspiration or motivation to do those kinds of videos because I knew I was getting into a really difficult sort of because I was like crashing and burning every time I made it. It made it not fun anymore.
Right.
So I was like, well,
there-
I do like doing them, but it's like now I go, okay, I'll do it a little short. I'll do like no reason I can't do a 30-second clip or like, you know. And I also started getting more work as an actor, so it's like, well, you know, I gotta balance my life out. So I don't post them every day, obviously, maybe once a week,
Right.
and that's enough for me. Then I don't burn myself out making something, you know. I enjoy the
Even
finished
that
product.
though is
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't put out a video like that once a week.
Oh God.
Well,
I don't even think I could do
More
it
like
once.
every 10 days at this point. Yeah, I'm like kind of like, you know, I do it when I feel inspired and feel able to and have space for it. And then when I don't have space for it, I get sad that I can't. And then I feel like I'm letting down my following. There's a whole bunch of stuff that comes up
Right.
That Ron knows all about it. He's he's always like there for me, going like, "Hey,
He's
you know,
heard.
what's gonna happen? What's the worst that's gonna happen?"
Right.
You know.
Oh.
Just like I want to be able to do it all the time and deliver content constantly, but you just can't, and that's okay. You know, I'm like getting better at being cool with doing it when I can.
Right. Yeah.
That's good.
Well, we
And
have.
it's way more fun to do it when I don't have to do it by myself. Like when I have Ron like spray me with a hose, it's way more fun. If you don't know what I'm referring to, that's one of the more recent ones I did. Ron sprayed me in the face with a hose. It's way more fun to have a buddy. He can help me line up a shot where I don't have to like go back and forth.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah. A lot of work.
I enjoy the challenge.
Well,
'cause
and you
I'm
have a
fucked
lot of
up.
fun too while you do it. You gotta admit,
It is.
like,
It's
I
very
actually,
rewarding when you're
I
done
have,
fucking crushing
I have
it.
another clip that I want to show people, just showing exactly how much fun you have making these videos.
How does she make it look cute? I fucked up. Ooh. Wow, I look exactly like Kelly Kapowski. Oh my god, I'm so scared to do a left-handed cartwheel. I'm either gonna kick the chandelier or kick the ceiling. Do. You know what? I'm just gonna do a right-handed cartwheel. Ugh, fuck. Where is my scrunchie? Why? Why? Why is my leg in the front hurt? I don't know. And also, this is the wrong outfit. If I break this chair, I'm gonna be mad at the chair. Get down and go for it!
Okay. First off, kudos to you for posting your bloopers. That's amazing.
Bloopers are some of my favorite things to watch in the world. And so,
I
of
love
course, I
bloopers.
want to let people see
So
me
good.
talking to myself like a maniac.
So good. Oh my gosh.
I think my favorite is, wow, I look exactly like Kelly Kapowski. Because I was like, I cannot match her. It's just too hard.
You gotta tell me, is there really that big a difference between a left-handed and a right-handed cartwheel?
Yes.
As
Have
soon
you
as you
tried
said
As somebody
that,
who
I
can't
never
do
thought about it.
either.
Well,
Never
here's the thing.
thought about it.
I
But
can
until
do
you said it.
But indoors with obstacles, I didn't trust myself. I didn't feel
Oh.
safe. I was gonna kick something. Right-handed cartwheel, I felt safe to do. Left-handed, I was like, if something goes wrong, I'm gonna hurt myself or break something in the house. But yeah,
It's very
there's
weird.
there's definitely a strong side.
So I would always, if I was going to do a cartwheel, I'd do it with my left. I'd never
Right.
even thought about this, but I'm like terrified of
with
doing
your
one on
left
the right. And now that you've said it, I'm like, this seems.
It
How would I
feels
do that?
weird.
I'm gonna be like a 2-year-old, you know,
Yeah,
trying
go
a
outside,
cartwheel for
try
the
it.
first
Yeah,
time.
it's like a baby cartwheel.
Shit. Okay. All right.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
And this is
I
coming
know
from
I'm gonna
someone
practice
with
at the
a
gym
lot of
today.
dance experience and a lot of like tumbling experience in my youth.
Are you in a
that I was too scared. Also,
Right.
like I did a cartwheel, the right-handed cartwheel, and I saw stars. So that's just like where I'm at in life.
In life, just in general, like
Going upside down. There was a period of time, several years, or like 5 years ago, where I was going to like an adult gymnastics class, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get back into like flipping and shit. I would be so dizzy. I would like be injuring myself constantly. I was like, I just can't do it at a certain
right.
unless I
Yeah.
like went to the gym every day, which I don't.
yeah.
Who
It
wants to do that?
seems.
Right. No. It's.
Seems.
Have you guys tried going to the gym? Like, it's not great.
I
Like,
I'm a professional gym hopper
I've been there,
of
and
many years.
let me tell you, they're like all
I've-
the same. Like, why? Like, I don't see the appeal. You know what I mean? It's a lot of
I will
people
like, do
there.
something for. I will like do a certain type of workout for like a period of time, burn myself out on it, and then switch. And I've done that forever. I think being a dancer doesn't help But like I was like I would like lift for a long time. I got really good, and then I hurt my back, and I couldn't do that anymore. You know, gymnastics was a thing. I mean, I've done it with everything.
I go through
Every-
phases of
Right.
enjoying working out and
Right now,
not,
it's just
but I
dance.
change. I like to change
Never been a
what
fan.
it is, but right now, like I've been going to the gym recently, and actually, I have been enjoying that quite a lot. It's like a nice.
Yeah. Well, that's the
It's-
thing.
it's
Like
like-
it's so
it's-
good for your brain.
I feel like y'all
It's
are
so
trying
good
to
for my
talk
mental
me
health.
into it, and it's just not gonna happen.
Well, I know I have to get exercise because I feel my brain and my body disconnected is not a good thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I've noticed it
yeah.
particularly this time around, like how important. I haven't gone to the gym in over a week now, and like now I've had to make sure that in that in between time, like I'm going out for at least short little walks around the block, and like just to sort of reset a little bit. Like I'm noticing how mentally sort of like static I get. Also, this having stopped smoking nicotine.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that going?
That's right.
Oh, totally fine. Like I have no issues. Every now and again you get like a craving, but I don't have a desire for nicotine. So that's the difference. Like you maybe like you can feel the physical craving, but you're like, I don't want to go smoke a cigarette to fill that. I'll just go do something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
But that even that is pretty much gone now at this point.
That's dope to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I noticed like my brain goes so much fucking faster. Like, yeah, it's just like nonstop, and like I kind of have to get out and like move around in order to kind of slow it down again. Otherwise, it's just yeah,
Yeah,
not
that-
pretty.
It's
Right.
not pretty, and that's I had been dealing with that for like a few months, and I was going like, why am I like? I feel like there's a feeling I can't shake, and then I realized I was like, I'm not getting
Right.
activity in enough. I was so busy doing other shit, and I was like, I'm not connecting my brain and my body.
It's very easy for me to just like stay
Yeah.
indoors and
Video
not like I'm
games,
so happy. I will just go walk around and look at a different plant and be like, can I do anything? No. Are you sure? Well, you should check it for pests at least. Like, I will be at home by myself for days at a time if I've got
Just
enough
fussing
like
over your
cannabis
plants.
and yeah.
I need
Oh,
to see
it's
a
like
TikTok of Adam trying to take his own advice of leaving it the fuck alone, and then like,
Right.
he almost can't.
About to
This
like
is
squirt
also,
it,
like-
spritz
Yeah,
it
no,
with water, like oh, fuck, oh
You're like,
God,
shut
I
up.
want
Nope.
to.
Nope, gotta,
Nope.
Gotta leave it the fuck
Sorry,
alone.
that's
That's
my-
what did Grandpappy say?
right.
What did Grandpappy
actually not a bad
say?
idea.
That's right. Leave it the fuck
It's
alone.
a great idea.
I might steal that.
I'm trying to take my own
Yeah, because
advice.
it is definitely, I mean, part of the way I came up with it is I kept saying that to myself. Like I kept being like, Adam, just leave it the fuck alone. Just like stop. You don't need to do anything. Every time you go and fuck with it, you just like end up killing the plants more. Just like leave it the fuck alone. Yeah. And so like that is sort of where that idea came from. I had been saying that phrase to myself for, a few months and or maybe like a year or whatever, and sort of developed this idea before I even like thought to put it into words and like apply it to other people. But yeah, like I still have to this day be like, don't do shit just to do shit. There's actual shit that you need to do. Like you could change the water and the propagation. You don't have to, so
So, leave it the fuck alone is obviously Adam's trademark, but I have a video of Adam not leaving it the fuck alone. So, let's go to that.
मैं तेरे जैसा नहीं नहीं तू मेरे जैसा बहुत है मैं तेरे जैसा नहीं नहीं क्योंकि तेरा कोई बॉस है मैं तेरे
Well, Adam, I'm gonna say what we're all thinking. That was pretty damn erotic.
it was
Gotta
more
feel like
erotic
that,
than I
gotta
realized.
say.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I mean, I thought it was cool looking, but I didn't
Definitely
really-
cool. Why don't you tell us what exactly you're doing there? What just playing? Are you playing with it? Did you put it back in Like, that's what I was wondering. Did
So-
you just stuff it back in when you were done with that video, you dirty boy?
I did. Yeah, it was basically I've been growing this Monstera in water in this giant lab glass. People thought it was cool, and so like,
Cool.
I don't know. I thought it would be like a cool slow motion, and at that point, I don't even know when that was from, but like 2019 or something. You could still sort of make those videos. I still do those sorts of videos on TikTok from time to time, but like, the sort of the content has changed a bit, I guess. But like, I was still making these like slow-mo, short little 7-second slow-mo videos or whatever.
Nope.
That
People
was
just
cool.
fucking ran with that one.
That was awesome. So, first off, how long did it take you to grow that plant? Because it's a 15-second video that's years in the making, right? Like, how long did it take to grow in that beaker?
No, she was probably in there for like 6 months or something, maybe.
Grow pretty quick.
Yeah. So it was a large plant to begin with. I took a large cutting from a plant that was growing in soil. It had some aerial roots, and then I just put it in the water, and it grew more aerial roots. Well, they were water roots by that point because they're growing in water. But
Semantics.
yeah, and the roots grow fairly quickly in the water. The plant grows fairly slowly, so it had probably in that time only added 1 new leaf or 2 new leaves. So yeah, I mean, it really didn't take that long to grow it. And then shortly after that, I put it in sphagnum moss and then put it in soil and ended up actually selling it to somebody. But I'm growing a different Monstera in that same lab glass. Looks very similar. I just do that every now and again.
Now that's cool.
'Cause it looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that whole process, it's just awesome. Now, see, Adam does cool stuff in his videos. I don't do all that
I
kind
was
of
just
cool
about
stuff
to say, I want to see another Spencer.
in my videos. So I'm going to throw out another one. This one I just grabbed real quick because it really kind of highlights what I do, and it's just kind of reacting spur of the moment to video or to shit I see on TikTok. So here we go.
Are you an adult?
So that one's quick. But that's exactly what I do, right? My videos are all like off the cuff. As soon as I think it, I shoot it and I post it. I don't do any second takes usually. I just top of mind, very like straight to the point, right? So when you guys talk about editing and doing like slow motion videos and all of that stuff, I'm very impressed by the amount of commitment you put in, because literally the only work I'm doing here is pushing a button. It takes me longer to write out my caption for a video than it does to actually shoot
sure.
the video.
Captions are
Right out,
fucking
you guys.
hard to. Yeah, it takes a long time to get that right. Well, less time than it used to now. But
Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm glad I got captions so late because I just got them like literally a month ago.
that's crazy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So how
Maybe
The
2
fact
months
that
at this
they,
point.
Like, didn't have captions for a really long time on the app is mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they're pretty fucking accurate.
Now
Like
it's-
it's
yeah. Mhm.
usually it's either like really random words like microbial or something. And it'll like change. I'll say plant a lot and it says plan, but that's probably just my pronunciation of not really enunciating the T. Because they still sometimes get plant.
We all
And
get
then-
what you mean, what you're saying.
Outside of that, yeah, it's pretty good, I found.
Yep.
But I
finally
do
got
spend a lot of time
stories.
rewatching.
Oh,
Oh,
you
nice,
got
yeah.
stories? How you liking
And
that?
I haven't posted one because I feel like it's stupid. Actually.
You just got to get used to it. It's like anything else, but I mean, to me,
I
it's
could
nice
just
because it's a
post,
little like,
like shit post more.
yeah, exactly. Just post whatever like the fuck
Right.
is going on, and it gives people like another avenue into your life.
What
You
I
know, so you
didn't
could
like,
just
though was when I didn't have stories, I would see other people's stories as posts.
Yeah.
For some reason,
I think they still do
don't-
that.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about I don't know why I care, but I do. I
Like,
want
I
my stories to be
shouldn't.
Sounds down
very
to the-
clearly different than like how Instagram is. It's like a very clearly different, and it feels to me too much the same.
That makes
Yeah, I think it's
sense.
just for me, it's like a different style of content. Like
Yeah.
going back to what Spencer was saying, I still do a lot of those sorts of videos too, and in fact, probably the primary amount of my videos are me like responding to people like saying shit on my like, can you do this? And be like, and then I'll sometimes have to research them a bit to make sure. Like I'll say my gut feeling and then be like, wait a second, am I right on this? Let me go back and double check. Okay, whatever, amend what I need to say. So I'll do multiple takes usually just because I trip over my words a hell of a lot, particularly when I'm like talking to a camera. Yeah, sometimes it just shit's not good. I don't remember where I was going with that anyway. Case in point.
I think I don't know why I don't know why I've become so afraid of posting lower quality things on my feed.
But so this isn't
you gotta
isn't
get
your
past
this
that.
would
Into
but this isn't your
Quality,
feed, right? Like this
right,
is
but I feel yeah,
this
that's, I wasn't
is
so sure that it was.
it doesn't show up
really-
on your feed at all.
No, that's great.
And
I
so, or
wanna
maybe
do it.
now it's like now mine shows up on mine as like the first thing. Anyway, but you can like, yeah, I just post really dumb videos. Like there was like a tall dandelion
I
that I
wanna do
saw,
that.
or
Aw.
yeah, you know, like in other nudes, here's a really tall dandelion, or like here's a field that has lots of wildflowers. Like
know
I think
that
it's cool that
bee
in
one?
Germany.
Where there's that bee flying and everyone's doing it, and it goes, and the best part of this plan is no one can.
Ah,
see
yeah,
it."
yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Somebody
Yeah.
explain to me what that is, Adam.
I don't know what Ron
What's-
did it, and I thought it was really funny, but I thought the bee. It was your face is so tiny on the bee that it's like everyone's looks the same, and I was like, I wonder
Yeah, exactly.
how expressive you could get that
Right.
bee to look. So I did a draft where I like try to make the biggest faces on this bee to make it look expressive. It was very hard, but it ended up looking totally insane. So I kind of want to post that on my story. Is my point.
Yeah.
So I made one of those too, and I did something similar. Like I opened my mouth as wide as I can, and it looks a little funny, but you have to
It
be
looks
paying
really
close
funny.
attention.
But you can also like zoom your like the bee into camera and out of camera. And so you
That
can
part
make the
is-
bee like go far away and then go in close, and then like it lost
I
an
need to see
eye
this.
when I did
That's
it. It was
cool.
really wonky. So maybe I'll experiment
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. And I like this new, like, I don't know if you have this now, the layout when you go to post something, they have that quick option.
You like that? I don't like that. It has.
don't
I have
know
to
what
like
you're-
So
double
that's-
click into it.
That's to encourage you to make stories.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't really like that function, except for the fact that you're like, it's telling you how they want you to make stories. Not multiple cuts, really quick, less, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
like,
most post a story or next.
yeah, and so like, but having that quick fit feature when you like, I don't really like it, but I appreciate that it's in one sense TikTok
Yeah.
telling me, hey, do it this way, because then that just drives more traffic to
Yeah,
my
if it drives
page,
more
which
traffic
drives
to
more
your page,
traffic to my
then-
website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was great. Yeah. All right, I'll play around with it this week, I guess.
Yeah, Adam's been mastering like the story game. Like well, Adam's been doing a lot of like I want to call it like
You are
softcore thirst
on
traps.
fire lately.
Is it softcore thirst? You're like tickling plants like this?
Plant thirst traps?
Like,
How is it?
ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's,
I mean,
it's only plant.
y'all are
Bro,
fucking
You're
weird.
pouring water on it and tickling it, dude. Like first thing, it's like the first thing I see when I wake up is just Adam's videos.
You're
like,
welcome.
oh, Adam's tickling
You're
his
welcome.
ficus again.
You're like, oh,
I love it.
Good morning. Wake up. Wake up.
hello. I haven't even had my coffee yet. Give me a second.
Yeah, but those are. I mean, to me, those are fun. Like, I think they look cool. Like, that's the kind of shit that I want to see. The problem is, actually, those videos don't tend to do very well.
Really?
Right.
You
I
know,
think
the
they're
last one I
amazing.
posted, I think got like 300
know.
views.
Oh, that's a travesty.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really matter, but like that's
The algorithm's all shifty right now anyway.
that's
so
like the
everyone's
smallest.
everyone's
That's
looking
that's like
for
when a
you.
video fails. Like if I'll get through it because like
Under 1,000 is like
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You guys are lucky,
Yeah.
huh?
that's part of the reason I only want to post once a week because it's less chances to have those kind of numbers.
See, I'm the type of person that puts anything out there because I don't care about stats. I understand, like, you guys, like, we've talked about this whole time, very professional, clean cut, right? But if I was like that, I wouldn't have the chance to post a video like this.
Being married to an ADHD person has its perks. You gotta admit it. Like every now and then you'll go to sleep with your partner and then wake up and your whole house is clean like some fucking Keebler Elves broke into your house and started cleaning your kitchen or something.
So that was a video I shot totally off the cuff. I wouldn't post that if like I was trying to do any kind of social media strategy, but here we are, like 450,000 views later on a Keebler Elf video, and I still have people talking about Keebler Elves in the comments of that thing.
I love it. Wait, you don't have the? Do you have the one queued up? I'm gonna make this about
I'm
my
not.
favorite videos. First.
Hold on real quick, Spencer. I'm
Yeah.
still posting these videos. Like it's not so much that I care. I mean, I look at it because I'm interested to see what people are
Sure.
like because I want to post
Yeah, I
content
know.
that people engage
Yeah,
with.
absolutely.
But I'm still posting those videos because I think they're cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And some people really like them. I do get similar like people that like you guys keep commenting on them and seeing, you know, like so there are people that appreciate them. I'm not gonna stop, but like the numbers don't dictate what I post.
Right.
But that doesn't mean I don't look at the numbers at all. Like you know, like
For sure.
because most of the content I post is still like this response to questions that I know is only going to get 5,000 views at best if I'm lucky. Most of them are like between 1 and 2. But then I post this thing with the tetrasperma and it gets 13.5. Like
Right.
you know, like those videos take longer. I understand that, but you know, so like I'm making a splattering of stuff that I want to make, but I do look at the numbers. I can't say I
You
don't.
want to make matters the most.
So we're coming up over an hour into this show. I was gonna say we're coming up on an hour into this thing, but yeah, we were just tearing through. I want to talk real quick. I'm gonna put you on the spot. You guys are big famous creators, right? What advice?
I think mid-level is
Moderate.
What advice
Mid to-
would you give to the young little plant Adam out there, or the little Gwen out there who's looking to start their own TikTok?
Little Gwen already exists and
channels.
has millions of followers. Like,
Oh, is little
that's
Gwen a
already-
person? See, that's
all, those chicks are already crushing
You're
it.
like, they don't
I
need
don't have
advice.
to tell them shit.
All right,
They're
give
killing
advice.
it. I go with them.
That's true. Yeah, they don't need advice.
There's a dancer girl that I just saw that was like, my best friend sent it to me, and she did like a reenactment in front of the TV of Encanto, and she like did like like the dance, just like it was just did all the dance moves. She's a dancer, and it was really good. And I was like, yeah, they don't need help.
They got this.
But you know, they might need help with like their mental health or their confidence or their view of themselves, their perspective of themselves, and that's something we can talk about. But
Well, yeah, that's huge, right? So why don't you talk about that, Gwen? That's great advice.
I mean, we all know. I mean,
No, lay it on us. I have no idea. Like body images, we're supposed to shame each other, right?
Yeah,
like
no.
that's.
Well,
What?
I mean, unfortunately for kids coming up right now, body images. There's
It's
so much
huge.
more. There's so much more vulnerability and relatability to cling to on the internet than there used to be.
That's true.
When I was growing up, it was all still just supermodels or whatever. There was not a lot of like people that I could be like, oh, like that looks like me. You know, I don't know. I just it exists much more now that there's a lot more body positivity. But
Definitely.
yeah, I don't know.
Adam?
Otherwise, general blah blah blah. do the content you want to do, and don't read the
Stay
comments.
true
I don't
to
know.
yourself.
I could give advice that I don't easily take.
You do
you know?
you. Yeah, do that. That's the best advice. No.
Well, the best advice is take care of your fucking mental health and your brain, and take breaks and be a real person, and don't burn yourself out too early. That is my thing.
Dang. For somebody
I'm
who
so
doesn't
glad
have
I
any
didn't
advice,
have
you got a lot of
any-
advice.
I
I have the exact opposite advice.
God, if I like
Push yourself to post 7 times a day. Do it nonstop. Wait till you burn the fuck out. Then take a 3-month break. Come back. You'll be better than ever.
Right.
You're just gonna be crushing it. All your dreams will come true if you just keep doing it over. Grind every morning.
The
Grind.
starving
And
artist model. I love it.
Clearly, you just haven't grinded hard enough.
That's the key. You got to
Ground.
work hard. Maybe schedule. Like,
You haven't grounded.
Stick to that schedule. Do you have a calendar? Get it out. Use it every day. Just make sure even if it's, you just use it every day.
Right.
Stick to a routine. Brush your
gotta
teeth.
Grind it. Just gotta grind it.
But you did say the words break in there, which is not a lot of people have. Not a lot of people say that. So you're caught.
The break is because you've worn yourself. You literally have a mental
It's a
break.
mental break. It's not like a vacation.
I have a friend
No.
who is
No. You're not
super
doing
fucking
well
famous
during
on
this.
TikTok. I have a friend who is super fucking famous on TikTok, like 10 million followers probably. Also, is like millions of followers on YouTube and Instagram. Like so much content every single day. There's something new, and every once in a while I see him post something like, "I'm really like tired, but I gotta keep going." I'm like, he's gonna burn himself into the ground, and I'm worried about him.
Right. Well,
I'm
so
like,
where
he
do you
doesn't
draw
have a
that line,
sister or
Gwen?
anything.
Like you said, it's really easy
You have
to
to- it's up to him. I can't
say
tell
that,
him.
right? It's really easy to say,
Right.
like you have to know your limits. Don't push your boundaries. But for me, my limits, I don't know. I've crossed them until they've been crossed, right? You know what I
The thing
mean?
is, I can't tell that. I can't tell him that he's gonna burn out, and he's not gonna listen. You have to figure it out on your own time and your own. The best thing we can do is lead by example for our friends and family and other people, and be like, no, I'm thriving, I'm killing it, and I take breaks.
And
Do I drink
well,
water?
and I
No,
love that
but-
advice. I think it's super important because
Yeah.
we get I hear it every day, all day, every day. People talking about the algorithm, right? Oh, you got to please the algorithm. The algorithm likes this. The algorithm does
We're all
this.
people pleasers.
And,
Algorithm is a person.
and honestly, I believe like you could just start making up stuff about the algorithm, and people would listen to it like conspiracy theory
They
style.
do when they do.
They do.
when
There's
they
tons
do.
of that shit out there.
Yeah,
God, I saw one last
exactly.
night and I got so mad I had to block it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, and a lot of it feeds into our own fears of not getting that, like the emotional contact from people and the reward, right?
Validation.
I think also because it's changed so much, whereas I could post a video where I'm pulling the roots out and it gets, 1.9 million views or 1.5 or whatever it is. Like, that's just not going to happen on TikTok anymore. Like, unless this is some real advice that I would give to somebody starting out, it's probably not going to happen. Like, let's be realistic. You're probably not going to get to 160,000 followers on TikTok before this thing goes up in flames. Like, what you need to do is find the next big thing. Jump on every social media platform that you hear some great creator talking about is going to be the next big thing. Join all of them and start spam posting that shit and hope that one of those goes viral on that. That's what happened to me. I was on TikTok and people were like, why the fuck are you on TikTok? It's 12-year-old girls.
Yeah.
It's now you see news posts about it, but it was literally for a year
Right.
or so being on it. People being like, "You're so fucking dumb. I cannot believe you're on." I'm like, "This app is amazing." And they're like, "No, it's not. You're dumb." I'm like, no, seriously. And so I was one of the first people on there in talking about plants at all, let alone house plants in a specific manner. Like I was talking. No, there was like maybe
Right.
4 of us talking about plants.
And the dancing girls.
And a bunch of dancing girls. And that was like,
That was TikTok for the first 4 years of it. It was magical place.
Thinking and
So-
dancing, yeah.
But because of this algorithm, whether it's true or not, or just because there's so many more people on here, and because there's more people, there's a demand for higher quality. Is it the algorithm? Is it just the people that have been consuming the content have changed? I think it's a bit of both.
It's an interesting question. Yeah.
You know, like we all blame it entirely on the algorithm, but also the consumer has changed, and the consumer does drive a lot of this content. They're demanding higher quality content. They want mini movies now. They didn't want that at the beginning because that TikTok was about the authenticity. We know the authenticity is gone, and because we know it's gone, we're not demanding it anymore. In fact, we're sort of demanding this Instagrammy authenticity. And so, yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably not going to happen unless you're just dumb luck. It was for me. It's not like I'm super special.
There's just
Right.
more people
Yeah.
in that lottery now than there used to be.
And I think acknowledging exactly, there's a lot more people playing that lottery game,
Yep.
and a lot fewer winners.
Also, if you're
So-
doing it just for the numbers, like you're fucked to begin with.
That's
Oh, yeah.
my advice right
Yeah.
there. Is you got to do
Just
it
have
for
If you just
something
want
else.
like your 15 minutes, like okay, you might get it, but like
Might.
then what?
Right.
Yeah.
Then what?
Right.
And also, like, what is it? People don't really think about what being famous actually entails, and I do on a regular basis. It's too much. I think about 1 million followers being overwhelming. I could handle it, but like 140 million followers,
Right.
I don't want to be that. I don't want to live in that much of a bubble
Right. Well, so
ever.
where's the
I do.
line? Where's that comfort line, right?
That's
Because
all
I'm
about
I'm the
it.
same way.
Not
And
all
Adam
of it.
obviously wants all the fame and fortune, wants to conquer the world, but
And it doesn't even
what's the
equate
line?
to fortune. That's what's also fucked up.
right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just
Yeah.
time spent not like playing at other people and making other people happy on a bigger scale and more rejection sensitivity.
Yeah.
It's just all of that, but more of it. No thanks. I mean, look, would I take an Oscar if given one? Yes.
Hey,
Obviously.
those aren't
But
given out; those
also-
are earned, Quinn.
But also, the Oscars are total bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's total bullshit, but I still want one.
right.
Like, I like being in my house, but I don't want to totally always be in my house because I can't go outside because people will bother me. No thanks.
Yeah, but I want to. Yeah. I mean,
It's a give
That
and take.
sucks. See, you don't want that.
a little bit. Not exactly
A little. See, that's
that.
the thing. A little bit of it, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
don't
not
want.
all.
I don't
No.
want. Kim Kardashian fame.
No, that's
No.
exactly what I mean.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly. That's what I was saying. Like,
That's a
at
sort of a
some
modern
point,
day.
you give up like
thing.
all of your privacy, right? Like, we all, to some degree or another, give very intimate looks into our own lives online. Me, probably more than the two of you. But like, I often find myself asking the question, like, how much would I share? Like, what wouldn't I share online? For me, it's not so much like the fame and stuff. It's I'm doing a lot of like self-discovery, right? And self-analysis, right? So it helps me to share. So I'm always butting against, well, if it's benefiting me, like, how could it hurt me, right? So how do you guys like find that line? Like, where do you set that boundary between your personal life and creating content online?
Here's the other thing that you have to think about is the potential to get doxxed as a
Yeah.
woman, especially the
For
potential
sure.
to get stalked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know that. Okay, you guys know that clip is like, I actually do cuss a little. What's your favorite curse word? Probably fuck. You know that interview with oh no, iCarly. Shit. Her. That interview, they talked about the story where this crazy guy who was stalking her came in and burned himself to death in her yard.
Oh.
Jesus.
Stuff like that happens to people, and like that is enough for even someone at like our following level to not want my, like, I took my married last name off of Instagram because I was hearing about, like, well, if you say something and someone gets mad at you, they could dox you. I don't know, like, I was like, well, maybe it's, you take little precautions like that. Like, maybe I'll be a little harder to find my legal last name. I mean, people can find it. It's not that hard. A little harder to find my address.
Right.
It's things like that that I mostly concern myself with in terms of boundaries, because that's like real danger shit.
Right.
Anyway, that got dark, but like,
right. No, it's important. Like, I have to
like,
think about the same things, like with the family and
with
kids. Like, yeah,
yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's.
I keep it at legality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I try to keep my
I don't know. You've been
legal stuff above board. That's all I'm saying. Just keep,
those calves ought to be
keep it at that.
illegal. Let's just say that, man. Bring those bad boys out of here. Like,
My calves.
For those of you who didn't catch it, Adam did a whole video dedicated to his calves. He was like talking about his legs the whole time.
Did you not keep up that?
I didn't. I don't have it. All right, let me tell you how difficult it is on the back end for me,
I was
Gwen.
gonna say probably a lot.
The way I'm doing it is I have all of my videos on my phone, so I'm uploading them into Canva to get them onto my computer because I have an iPhone and I have an HP. And so I'm putting them into Canva, downloading them into the file, and then uploading them into OBS to play them. And so I can't format them. That's why the first one was nice and pretty and formatted, and the other ones I can't format and watch the stream at the same time.
Onto an MP4 and just like play them little by little.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Guys,
Okay.
I love you. I love y'all, but I have to run.
Yeah,
Right.
you have a
It's
day.
that time.
Yeah, it is that
I do.
time. So, hold
So-
on, real quick. Did you come up with a name for the bunny yet, Adam?
Did anyone?
Anybody?
No.
Bunny
Oh.
name?
Looks a little sinister.
Yeah,
It looks very
so
sinister.
the original one didn't have the eyebrows, or the sharp fang teeth. He had big buck teeth. So me and Shim actually before the show edited that bunny to make him look a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more edgy.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
A little doom scrolly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That
I'll,
rabbit's been in some holes. You know what I'm saying?
I'll have to think about
Try to
it.
come up with one.
All right,
Yeah.
we're on a mission for next
This
week. But listen, this has been great. Like, we did cool transitions. That was fun. We talked a lot about like our own stuff, which is great.
Spencer,
like,
you killed it.
It was a lot of fun.
Videos.
Well, the thing is, we're only gonna keep getting better at this, people. Like, go watch video 1 and then watch video 2, and you're gonna see a vast improvement on the way that we're at least like putting this thing together, and that is momentum, my friends. So if you want to come back next week, we're gonna do it again. It might get better, it might get worse, but you're
Only
gonna
one
have to
day
stay
earlier.
tuned to find out. Right, that's exactly it. We're doing it on Sunday nights now. Mondays in Germany. So instead of just getting the day from Adam, we can get the start of the week from Adam,
Start
and
of
that'll
the
be very important. Maybe we'll get some horoscopes going. Like, I'm gonna make Adam work for that segment, and we'll just keep bringing it back. But again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Gwen, Adam, say goodbye to our wonderful followers. And we'll be
Goodbye,
back
followers.
next Sunday. We're going to do it 10 o'clock my time, which is 9 o'clock Pacific and 12 o'clock Eastern. And what's it in Germany? 6 a.m.?
Yes, 6 a.m.
6 a.m. in Germany. God dang, we are doing it all over the globe. So, again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next week.